All right, here's our extension exercise. So we're starting this one the exact same. We're at our right flat. Our feet are in a second position, shoulder width apart. Our elbows are boxed out. Toes are pointing outward at our 45-degree angles, out away from the center of our body. And we're gonna start this one the exact same. We're counting off 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're coming up on 5 at the count off. So 5 and 6, up on 5, okay? Now, as we initiate this, we're still initiating on count 8 and, all right, through the angular position, but now we're coming down and we're not grabbing with our left. Our left now becomes what we call a free hand. And that's because there is no responsibility of the left hand with the exception of looking good. What that means is there's still energy, there's still position, and there is still placement to the left hand. It doesn't become a dead limb that just kind of hangs there, but it's still performed and it's still projected. All right, so here's count 1 of our extension. It's slightly in front of my body. It's slightly off to the right of my body. Notice I'm not in the center, but I'm off to the side of my body, okay? Here's count 1. Count 2, we're turning the flag upward. You'll notice that the pole goes behind my body, so I have to move my arm off to the right, slightly behind, in order for the pole to pass behind me and go upward into the upward position. Count 3, we're bringing the flag over the head, and it's gonna come behind my body, right where my ponytail would be if my hair was up in a ponytail, all right? So that gets us to count 3. Count 3 and we pass through a flat position in the center of the body, taking us up to count 4, which is where a right shoulder would be if my left hand were at the bottom of the pole, but my left hand is still here in a free arm position. All right, so let's talk about a few things. So this is an exercise that executes what we call flourishes, all right? Flourishes are skills that we use to manipulate our wrist in order to work on wrist flexibility. So when we start to have more advanced choreography, we're able to manipulate the equipment and get it to effortlessly move in and out of time and space to match musical phrasing without it being choppy and without it looking forced, okay? So working on your wrist flexibility is just as important as when we start to sit and do floor stretches and work on our floor flexibility. All right, so going through those motions one more time, we're coming up to our right shoulder in the count off, 5, 6, 7, squeeze on 8, physical squeeze, initiate and count 1. Off to the side, thumb is down. Now this is a little easier because it's not hand-to-hand motion, all right? It's just focusing on the flexibility of the wrist. Arm moves slightly behind the body, pole passes behind the body. This is and 2. You'll notice all of the ands, the pole goes through a flat position. This is to work on making sure that we have uniform time throughout the ensemble, so everybody's flags are moving together. 2 and comes flat over the body as we come to count 3, which is pull behind us right at our ponytail. 3 and is our flat right in line with our forehead. To count 4, which is our right shoulder position without the left hand. Now to end the exercise, we go into a drop stop, just like we did with drop spins. From here, count 4, drop. That's where our left hand leaves the free hand position to grab right here, thumbs down. Just like drop spins, we pass through our flat. As the right hand starts to make contact with the pole and slides, squeeze into our drop stop. All right, now, one really important element to talk about when we start to do extensions, okay, is what we like to refer to in the color guard world as the toaster, all right? And that is exactly what it sounds like that you're imagining. The appliance in your kitchen that toasts your bread in the morning. There are 2 little slots, okay? I want you to imagine yourself as that piece of bread that gets put into that slot, all right? That bread cannot turn left or right, or it hits the walls of the toaster and gets burned, all right? So this exercise lives in the plane that we like to call the toaster, all right? And you'll notice as I'm doing extensions, my hips and my shoulders are not moving from side to side, okay? The tendency a lot of people have when they start to do color guard is to let their hips and their shoulders move side to side. You wanna really make sure that you're squeezing your core, you're lifting through your sternum, and you're not allowing your hips and your shoulders to move side to side, all right? Then it's all about understanding how to manipulate that arm moving from front to back to keep the flag in the toaster, because a lot of us now will start to focus on keeping our hips and our shoulders, but it's gonna make things happen like this, where the flag is traveling outside of that flat plane, all right? Imagine your flag being a giant pencil, all right? And the top tip of your flag is the lead of the pencil. If you were to do extensions, you would be drawing 2 circles. You'd be drawing a circle in front of you that goes through a lower plane, and you'd be drawing a circle behind you that goes higher into a higher plane, okay? So think about those things as you're working on this exercise, keeping that hips and shoulder orientation facing directly toward the front, maintaining a strong second position, maintaining good lift, all right? Think about your flag being the pencil, drawing that circle in the front, drawing that circle in the behind in order to make sure that you keep your flag in the toaster. So let's go ahead and do 4 counts of extensions plus a drop stop all together. And 5, and 6, up on 5, 6, 7, squeeze, and 1, 2, 3, 4, drop and stop. So extensions, just like drop spins, can be multiplied into large numbers. I'll say let's do 4 sets of extensions, which would be 16 counts, because each set is 4 counts, all right? So let's do 2 sets of extensions all together, which is 8 counts, which means that once we get to count 4, you will just initiate right back into that sequence of the next set of extensions. So this is 8 counts, 2 sets of extensions on the right side. And 5 and 6, up on 5, 6, 7, squeeze, and 1, 2, 3, 4, down 5, 6, 7, 8, drop, stop. All right, that is extensions. Really great job. Really make sure you're working on your posture, working on your focus, working on keeping those hips and shoulders in the correct orientation, working on keeping that flag in the correct plane. All of those things are going to help make this exercise way more successful for you. Good job.